Coach, coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports brings us to Southern California and Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the Indianapolis Colts and our home team. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one. As
But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
70, Indy.
now the first carry for Bush. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Now Bell, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What do I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Hey, Charlie.
And bring it.
Go.
3rd and short yardage. Rivers under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So now the Colts will get their first opportunity with the football. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
When you often speak of scripts to start a game, does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And brought in here by Flainer. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now this one complete on the slant route. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
And he'll be close to a 1st down at the Chargers' 29. They'll run on 3rd down with Brown. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now Luck. And that's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Out of the gun, Luck. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And the return will stop right around the 25. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
You got tight. You got tight right there.
On third down, Rivers. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for L.A. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. This is Bush. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Now from Colts territory, here's a first and 10 at the 47. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass. The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on fourth. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down. Now Rivers on fourth down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it. But in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Yo, Cheetah. Ready?
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 29, Rivers. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. As his guys are in for 6. And the Chargers have taken the lead. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this, after that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him. But he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Love. And the tight end has it. It's Fleener. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. This is Brown on the draw play. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. And he'll be close to a first down at the Chargers' 30.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 17-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On first down, it's Brown. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd and 7, Luck caught by Allen.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high. Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time, they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Play fake, Rivers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. Point after up and good. And the lead is up to 8. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. 1 play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone.
Let's go.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you have to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go right back to the ground here in Brown. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's how we do it, baby.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
This is taken at the 15. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set them up 1st and goal. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together, the front and back.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. From 4 yards out, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
It worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume, here. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, rolling the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Rivers finds his target. It's Gates. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Now Bell. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now. They'll try again with Bell. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Bell.
Right there. Down, baby.
Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And this one is right through. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. Well, what do you think? Maybe a little disappointment there. They had a pretty nice drive going at the end of the half, and they have to settle for 3.
Well, definitely a little bit of disappointment there because when you kick a short field goal, you shake your head a little bit like, could we have done a little bit more? Could we have gotten one more shot to try and get 6? But with what little time was left on the clock, I think it was a smart play.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing his lock. Looking deep for Hilton. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. They'll run it here with Brown. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Luck. He completes it to Hunter. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Set up, 18 Gator.
Mike, hey, watch the slant. Shift.
Greystone travel. Snap.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rivers. And that's caught inside the 35. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. The intended receiver there, Allen, and now it's 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. A 2nd down throw for Rivers. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
You see me? You see me? They can't.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Go.
Mike 53. Here we go. Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Come on, baby.
Get it.
3rd and long for Rivers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4. Luck. He's got it to Hilton. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Let's go. 18 Gator.
Check.
On 3rd down, it's Brown. And it would appear he's going to be short of a 1st down as he's stopped right around the 29. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Let's go.
Oh, design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Throwing, Rivers. Gates with a grab. And he's To get this all the way down inside the 35.
Here we go.
Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
On the double.
53's mine. Check. 53's mine.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Now.
Bell. And an alley to run. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Situation. Let's go. Watch the sequence.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. The extra point splits the uprights. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
15, line, 59. Hey, check.
Now a play fake, and it's locked. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. Luck now to throw. And this one caught by Hunter over the middle. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Luck. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Colts on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 17. Out of the gun. Lock. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Chargers will get the football at the 20. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Here's a first down throw that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, Rivers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the 1st quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have 1 right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Off the play fake here, Rivers. He's got Allen. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Now, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Lott. And he's got his man Hilton. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And picked up by the Chargers. There he goes right side. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field.
On the ready.
Check his mic. Man, I got you.
On first down, it's Love. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to throw. Love. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver.
And that's caught inside the 35. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now it's Luck off the bootleg. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They snap it to Love. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
22 jet bomber. Hey, wahoo! Shoot!
To throw, Rivers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Allen's got it complete. Now we've got whistles, and the man slow to get up here is the quarterback, Allen. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Rivers. Finds his target. It's Gates. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Throwing on 3rd and long. Rivers. Open man, it's Allen. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He sets to fire deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all, and to me it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays? Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Here's Bush on 4th down. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. On 1st and 10, Love. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this down to the 35. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Love. Now a desperation throw deep downfield and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. One last throw here for Love. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation.